HOA cut off my cabin accessed no I own the only road leading into the valley. The valley was a sanctuary, a cradle of wildflowers and whispering pines where Ethan had built his cabin 30 years ago. He was a solitary man, weathered by time and heartbreak, his only companions the deer and the distant howl of coyotes. His cabin, perched on a ridge, was his fortress of peace until the Karen Valley HOA arrived. They weren't just neighbors. They were gatekeepers, wielding bylaws like swords. When they built their gated community at the valley's mouth, Ethan kept his distance. He didn't care for their manicured lawns or their petty squabbles over mailbox colors. But when they cut off his road access, claiming it was HOA property, the fight began. The road was a narrow, winding strip of gravel, the only path in or out of the valley. Ethan's grandfather had carved it decades ago, and the deed was clear. Ethan owned it. The HOA led by Margarita woman with a smile sharp enough to cut glass didn't bother checking records. She sent Ethan a letter, crisp and official, declaring his access revoked unless he paid a $5,000 community fee. Ethan laughed bitterly, crumpling the paper. He'd never bend to their rules. But when they installed a gate and chained it shut, trapping him in his own land, his laughter turned to fury. Ethan confronted Margaret at the gate, his boots kicking up dust. "This is my road," he growled, holding up the faded deed. Margaret's eyes narrowed, her voice dripping with condescension. "This valley's ours now, Mr. Hale. Pay up or stay out." Behind her stood Jake, the HOA's young treasurer, shifting nervously. He was new, barely 25, caught between Margaret's iron grip and his own unease. Ethan saw a flicker of doubt in Jake's eyes but didn't trust it. The air crackled with tension, each word a spark threatening to ignite. Days turned into weeks, and Ethan's supplies dwindled. He couldn't reach town, couldn't get groceries or medicine. The HOA held firm, their gate a steel taunt. Ethan's anger grew, but so did his plan. He spent nights poring over maps, legal documents, and old letters from his grandfather. The road wasn't just his, it was the valley's lifeline. If he closed it, the HOA's precious community would be cut off too. He hesitated, knowing the chaos it would unleash. But they'd left him no choice. One dawn, Ethan drove his old tractor to the road's entrance, where it crossed his property line. With a chain and padlock, he sealed it shut. The HOA's reaction was swift. Margaret stormed to his cabin, Jake trailing her. "You're strangling us," she shrieked, her face red. "No deliveries, no services, our people can't live like this." Ethan leaned against his doorframe, calm but unyielding. "You locked me in first," he said. "This road's mine. Always has been." Jake, sweating, tried to mediate. "There's gotta be a way to fix this," he stammered, but neither listened. The valley was a powder keg, and the fuse was lit. Then came the twist. Sarah, Ethan's estranged daughter, arrived unannounced. She'd left years ago, fleeing his stubbornness and their fractured past. Now a lawyer, she'd heard rumors of the feud through a friend. Standing between Ethan and Margaret, she held up a new Documenta County order declaring the road public domain due to decades of shared use. Ethan's heart sank. His leverage was gone. Margaret smirked, sensing victory, but Sarah wasn't done. "You abused your power," she told Margaret. "The county's investigating the HOA for fraud." Jake's face Paletti'd been skimming funds, a secret Margaret hadn't known. The confrontation exploded, accusations flying as trust unraveled. The standoff ended in court. The judge ruled the road public, freeing Ethan but stripping his control. The HOA dissolved amid scandal, Margaret's reputation ruined, Jake facing charges. Ethan's victory was hollow. Sarah left again, their rift unhealed. He stood alone on his road, now open to all, watching strangers drive through his sanctuary. The wildflowers still bloomed, but the valley felt smaller, tainted by greed and pride. Ethan's fight wasn't just about a road, it was about home, autonomy, and the cost of standing your ground. Margaret's ambition had poisoned a community, and Jake's betrayal showed how fragile trust could be. Sarah's return, brief and bittersweet, reminded Ethan that some losses cut deeper than any deed. The valley was free, but its heart was scarred. What do you think? Did Ethan's defiance justify the chaos? Or was there a better way to seek justice?